losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time, be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork, fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
The NFL on EA Sports brings us to North Carolina and Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Lady, we own it. We own it. Hey, switch gears.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And incomplete to open things up.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Stafford. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Stafford. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Newton. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Cam, option left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
This is McCaffrey. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, 54 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Ready.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. 40 got. Look at
Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford, he's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play. They look for them to try it again later.
Here's Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards.
First down, Lions.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now, this is Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 13-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ross Cockrell. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. A sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. James has got it, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Already, he's top 50 receiving yards in this first quarter. And he's got a first down. Stafford now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, 22! Watch the shot!
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A gain there of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Johnson, oh, it's poke free. Football's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Lucky. 59! Mike's 59!
Play action. Stafford. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack.
Well, in my time in football, I've yet to see a playbook that draws up offensive plays designed to lose yardage. A running play loses yardage on first down. They try and throw it, take a sack on second down. What can the offensive coordinator come up with here on third down?
Stafford now to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cornelder. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Tackle made by the third-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. From the gun, here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. McCaffrey. And some room to work. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now Cam, option left. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, it's Stafford. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love it.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Well, now they'll try the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Newton, meanwhile, here connecting with McCaffrey. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Completes it to Samuel. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cornelder. And he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Now Newton. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver.